The Renters' Rights Bill is set to change how landlords can increase rent, introducing stricter compliance requirements and potential financial risk for landlords who don't act strategically. Under the new rules, rent review clauses in older tenancy agreements are void. Instead, all rent increases must be executed via a Section 13 notice, giving the tenant 2 months' notice of the increase. This can only be done once per year, meaning that timing and planning are crucial. The Section 13 notice must be completed correctly and served compliantly, and errors could lead to penalties and rejection under the bill. Tenants have the right to challenge the rent increase at the First Tier Tribunal, or the FTT, which will determine if the new rent aligns with fair market value based on similar properties in the area. Now here's how this works in reality, and here's why there's a problem. If a tenant disputes the rent increase and the FTT rules in the landlord's favour, the higher rent will not be backdated to the date of the original notice. Instead, the higher rent would only take effect from the date of the hearing, which could be several months later. This effectively incentivises every tenant to challenge every increase, because the worst case scenario for them is simply delaying the higher rent with no downside and no risk. Now, I've raised this issue with peers at the House of Lords, arguing that rent increases approved by the FTT must be backdated to ensure fairness on both parties. Now here's why landlords need to act now. I've spoken to many private landlords recently who are rightly reviewing their position in the market, and they all say the same thing to me. I know I'm not charging the fair market rent, but my tenant pays on time and isn't any bother, so I don't need to charge more. Now while this may seem like a reasonable position, here's why this approach can be problematic and financially damaging in the long run. Property maintenance costs are rising. Many landlords undercharge rent but still face full-priced maintenance costs. When a property needs investment, and it will need investment, those costs won't be discounted just because the rent has been discounted. They will be the full costs. A small gradual increase helps to cover necessary repairs and keep the property in good condition. You might have longer void periods. Underpriced properties tend to be in poorer condition because the landlords delay investment, and/or the tenants don't like to trouble the landlord because they know they're paying under the market rent. So in these situations, the property is often unmarketable at the end of the tenancy when I come to see it. This results in extended void periods and loss of income while the property is refurbished, plus the expense of refurbishing the property, the council tax and the bills during this time, which is thousands of pounds of expense. Delaying rent reviews creates a false economy. By avoiding modest strategic rent increases, landlords accumulate future costs that must be paid all at once when the property becomes vacant. Sudden large expenses like decorating, replacing carpets, fixing that leak you didn't know about and all the consequential damage from it, replacing the extractor fan that was broken that you didn't know about, it all impacts your cash flow. So the message is this: review the rent now. Act before it's too late. Ensure your rent is in line with fair market rates. Stay compliant with Section 13 rules to avoid penalties, and avoid financial shocks by planning works and assessing preventative maintenance. Why not contact me and my team today for a free rent review? We offer remote assessments where required, and we'll take a measured, fair approach to help you protect your investment and your cash flow. Thanks for watching.